The psychological manipulation through advertising is a burning issue, and we, the consumers, face it almost on a regular basis. This practice has largely moved away from marketing's primary mission of meeting customers' needs and widened the power asymmetries between the consumer and the brand. Hi, welcome to the Wealth Lab, and thanks for checking in. In this video, we will understand the numerous ways advertisers and brands play with our minds. But before that, please hit the subscribe button and press the bell icon if you want to keep watching informative content. Thanks. So, we have to admit that we live in a world where all forms of advertising are accepted, whether we realize it or not. As a general rule of the trade, marketers are expected to direct their business according to the customer's viewpoint. That's why they say the customer is the king. The market goal of any company is to expand its audience or its consumer base. That's why companies have traditionally kept their focus on consumer needs. But these days, we're observing a completely different avatar of advertising, where customers' needs and well-being matter less and revenues and sales matter more. As a result, advertisers are keener on manipulating consumers psychologically to achieve these goals. Does this sound absurd to you? Well, this is the reality, folks. It is indeed unusual and, to a greater extent, unfortunate that advertising has become a way to mold our opinions and preferences in our lives. Today, we are all exposed to a cacophony of ads, which impacts our brain and our behaviors. Advertising purpose has become to influence the way we think. While some ads do highlight specific features of a product, many don't really appear to be product related anymore. Such ads are meant to generate sales only. Why do they do this? Because the human brain can be manipulated. According to a study by the University of California, those regions in our brain involved in decision making and emotion processing undergo high levels of activity when we watch ads of logical persuasion. So we can't overlook that advertisers are trying their best to convince consumers to buy content. They're constantly keeping us glued to their ads by bombarding us with images or visuals of attractive people, exotic locations, elegant cars, and impressive music. This kind of manipulation is known as embodied cognition. When it happens, all of our senses collaborate to drive our behavior in a particular pattern. So basically, all that advertisers are publishing nowadays is supposed to impact or even alter our actions. They want us to keep thinking about their products. Another way adverts manipulate us psychologically is by changing the way we feel about other brands. That's called emotional conditions. It's a process of transferring our feelings from one thing to another. In this case, from one brand to another. Emotional conditioning entails associating a lousy brand with multiple positive brands so that we alter our feelings about that brand. Surely you've seen laundry detergent and washing powder adverts where they compel us to feel that a particular brand cannot clean the clothes properly. What else does this catchy slogan mean? Tide knows fabrics best. That is from America's best-selling detergent. Previously, their focus was on the fragrance or the clothes' long life. But that's not the case anymore. Today, we live in an era where brand wars are expanding across all branding categories, and consumers are getting manipulated unknowingly. Then, there's a tried and tested strategy of surrounding a brand or product with other things that the public generally likes to see and gets associated with that. That's why we often see teddy bears and cuddly toys appearing in ads made for kids, as they feel good when they see these things and want to watch the ad even more. Enjoying the video? Please remember to hit that like and subscribe button. Thanks. These days, a basic ad involves a lot of brainstorming and strategizing. The focus has shifted from highlighting the plus points or the USPs of the product to manipulating our brains into perceiving it as the next big thing. From color schemes to textual content and visuals, each of these components is designed to capture consumers' attention so that we generate their desired response. Advertisers use various elements such as emotion, authority, persuasion, and memories to create an aura around their product. We find it difficult to break free from that aura and end up becoming hooked to that product. They use words such as "you deserve," "the latest and greatest," "luxury," "trendy," "chic," and more to generate a vanity appeal. Advertisers want to exploit the consumer's need for social relevance and importance. And since society places considerable importance on status and appearance, brands leverage these themes to drive action. Such themes are often a part of luxury goods, fashion, and automobile ads. And how can we overlook how advertisers change our opinion about our health to prove how badly we need their product? Whether it's a probiotic supplement or even a different vapor brand, it all seems to be of some great significance, while in reality, some of the products aren't good for you. At least, not for everyone. Tobacco ads are also part of these campaigns that divert attention to something as unhealthy as tobacco. Brands term their products as lights to give the smoker an impression that this brand is safer and has fewer health risks than other brands. There is also another strange strategy that tobacco sellers use to boost their sales further and reach out to a larger audience without making it too obvious. They deceive people by placing cigarette ads next to unusual ads. Since so many girls suffer from weight issues, they get attracted when they see a cigarette advert pop up with indications that it can help them lose weight. And tobacco firms attract males by propagating their products as glamorous and fabulous. Teenagers usually fall for this as they want to look like the hunky models in these ads, and that's how they get addicted to smoking at an early age. Similarly, beer brands promote their products by telling the audience that they can get the dream girl by drinking their beer. The same is the case with deo sprays and perfume ads. So, you see, psychology plays a crucial role in the design and success of any ad campaign these days. Marketers and brands incorporate basic psychological principles to generate their desired reactions and emotions, and eventually drive customer behaviors and habits. Ads may even be targeted to a specific demographic or psychographic group to enhance brand awareness and affinity. According to cognitive science researcher Mark Changzi from the Rensselaer Polytechnic Institute, advertisers aren't inclined to incorporate direct exposure to repeat ads to promote their products as they used to in the past, because they've realized that nothing can be as effective as psychological manipulation. It's a scientifically proven fact that repeated visual exposure to an object affects the observer's preference. The more an individual is visually exposed to something, the more they ultimately find flaws in it and get wary of it. They initially feel attracted to that product, but this is a mere infatuation that decreases pretty soon. So this means it all depends on the frequency of exposure. That's why advertisers expose the audience to a small number of visual exposures to increase the probability of product loyalty and acquisition. Ads are created in the form of company name clothing or products that are strategically placed in TV shows or movies that may go unnoticed by some, but many do notice it. These are all attempts of this small exposure that Changzi has pointed out in his research. He further claims that such tactics usually work because they exploit our unconscious mind and mechanisms to obtain maximum preferences and divert them towards the company or product. The human mind is their primary focus now, as they want to psychologically make us inclined towards their product, rather than straightforwardly putting forth the pros of a particular offering. Advertisers aren't interested in overexposure anymore, because whenever something is fed into the brain in abundance, it overwrites it, diminishing the consumer's preference for that object. It creates a feeling that the object is probably too familiar, so there's no need to focus on it. On the other hand, by strategically branding a product without adding overexposure, such as by telling us that we can get a job by wearing a crisp white t-shirt washed in a particular detergent, look slimmer and trimmer by eating a particular brand cereal for breakfast for 2 weeks, or meet our Mr. and Mrs. Right by simply using a particular deodorant spray. All of these are strategies that advertisers use to market their product. They know our urges and desires, and play with emotions by telling us that we can achieve our goals in life through using their products. But when you think about it, how's deodorant gonna make every other girl fall for you? So, Which ads do you think are the most manipulative? Please share your thoughts and comments down below, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and share with your friends. But with all that said, we'll see you in the next video.